Please be seated. Welcome, loved ones. What a joy and a privilege it is to be here together today to celebrate the love of Adriana and Charlie. Adriana and Charlie have chosen you, the people who are nearest and dearest to them, to be here now and share in this special occasion. So as we collectively bring our love and support not only to the ceremony, but to their lifelong commitment to one another, I'd like to begin by offering us an opportunity, individually and collectively, to attune ourselves through breath. I invite you now to close your eyes or find a soft gaze on the floor. Feel the connection of your feet to the earth beneath you. And from that space, draw in a deep breath, allowing that breath to fill your body, moving up through the center of your body, through your heart center, all the way upwards to the top of your head. Hold that breath, that sensation of fullness, and when you're ready, slowly, gently, mindfully release it out. And with that exhale, allow your loving support to ride the current of the exhale. And drift forward to Marco, Charlie, Adriana, and Reese, surrounding them in love and support, as they proclaim their love and commitment to one another as a family. With each breath in and each breath out, continue sending your loving support their way throughout today's ceremony. At this time, I'd like to welcome the groom's sister, Kathy, to offer a special reading.
This is a poem by Whitney Hansen called Like a River. They say sometimes love starts with a spark, and that might be true. But if I were to wish you a love, I wouldn't wish fire for you. You see, fire is powerful. It burns bright, then it's gone. It's beautiful and warm, but it doesn't last long. So instead of wishing you a love that burns, I wish you love like a river that twists and turns. It changes and flows. It is powerful and free, but it consistently finds its way back to the sea. And so like the water, I hope your love is ever growing, ever changing. I hope your love is powerful and free, and may you always find each other like the river finds the sea.
Thank you, Kathy. The vows that Adriana and Charlie will share with one another today to codify their union will seemingly happen in a moment, the here and now. But these words, infused with love, reach far beyond. For when words are spoken, they're like angels. They fly into the ether and take on a life form of their own. They have a lasting impact that ripples beyond air, into the body, and penetrates the soul. Words of love change us. They change our neurobiology. Over time, they carry the power to change our DNA. They impact the footprint we leave on this earth long after we're gone. Words of love fill the hearts of the next generation. These vows are significant because words are like a tether through the ether that connects us. And as Brené Brown reminds us, connection is the energy that exists between people when they feel seen, heard, and valued, when they can give and receive without judgment, and when they derive sustenance and strength from the relationship. Charlie and Adriana did not organically fall in love. How cliche would that have been? And for anybody who knows Adriana, she is anything but cliche. No, they did not haphazardly fall in love. Instead, they cultivated meaningful connection through their vulnerability, authenticity, and courage as they shared their life stories with one another. They formed trust together, and in doing so, they created a reservoir from which they draw sustenance and strength every day. They did not fall in love like one falls uncontrollably after tripping over an impediment. They mindfully walked into love with intentionality, openness, open communication, and trust. The roadmap of their partnership is paved with mutual respect, humility, compassion, and a sense of curiosity about one another, their newly formed family, and life itself. The road, like the river, twists and turns, but will always lead back to what their vows declare, to love one another forevermore. And so, in the here and now, it's time to exchange the vows.
Can I have some water?
Of course, there's one.
Okay. Adriana, neither of us ever guessed we'd be standing here, getting married to someone new in 2024. We've both done this before, but sometimes life throws surprises at us, and here we are. As you may know, or I came from a very difficult and chaotic life up until the last 3 years or so. I had told myself never again when I stepped out of that difficult situation I was in before, but here I am. I never could have imagined that I'd be so happy and fulfilled in a relationship. And before I continue with my vows, I just want to say that there's one person, my son Alex, who isn't able to be here today, and I want everyone in the room to know, I wish he could have been here, and I'm forever missing him as part of my life. Hopefully someday he'll join us. So back to the vows. As many of you likely know or can imagine, meeting new people isn't easy for me. I'm a very anxious person who lives a good portion of his life in his head. The thought of dating again was scary in many ways, but I very quickly realized that I was desperately craving companionship. I truly wanted someone to share my life with. I had no expectations of what that would mean, but circumstances lined up just right, and I got to the point where I was ready to download the apps. Some of you may know what I'm talking about with that, others don't. I would have been in that latter group about 2.5 years ago. Dating apps are how you meet people in this modern age, this modern internet age, and it turned out that Adriana and I had matched on 3 different apps. We both somehow must have known that there was a potential for something greater with the other person. Getting on the apps and getting matches was only the first step, though. The problem is I knew nothing about dating. The last time I had dated was in college. We didn't even have Facebook back then. We were still using AOL Instant Messenger. Yes, Reese and Marco, I'm getting to be an old man. So I did what I do with everything that's new to me. I went to YouTube. Mind you, this was before ChatGPT. And I learned how to date at 41 years old. One of the things I learned is once you match with someone, if you're enjoying the conversation, you should get a date set up and then not talk a whole lot until before the date. Mind you, I was very anxious about running out of things to say. The approach definitely worked because we're standing here today, but I think it really threw Adriana for a loop. I remember at one point she texted me and said, so we have a date set up, but do you want to talk at all beforehand? So we did chat back and forth a little bit leading up to the date. The big day finally came. I remember pulling into the parking garage and there was a blue van with a woman sitting in it. And I wondered if that might be Adriana. I went to the restaurant, was standing out front, waiting for her, then I saw her walking towards me. I was immediately struck by how beautiful and lovely she was. I immediately thought her voice was so delightful. She's walking towards me, and I walked to her with my hand extended to greet her. The kids know where this was going. I went to shake her hand, and she says, oh, come on, let's hug. I still hear about that one to this day. We had a wonderful dinner, and then we caught a movie together the next night. A few days later, I made dinner for her at my apartment. I remember making dinner and you were just telling me about your life and your job, and I just couldn't believe that I had this beautiful woman in my kitchen and she was interested in telling herself about me. I may be wrong on this, but I think you might say that was one of the first moments I hooked you. Adriana is such an amazing person, partner, and mother. She is everything I was lacking for so many years. She's loving, she's caring, she's nurturing. I remember being sick early on when we were dating, and she dropped off a care package filled with everything a sick person could need. Soup, cold medicine, all sorts of goodies. This was one of the first moments in retrospect that I started to realize how much she cared for me. That's the thing about Adriana. She takes care of people she loves. She goes out of her way to do amazing things, amazing and special things for people. I'm sure that many of the people in this room already knew that, though. As amazing as our relationship has been, like most relationships, it hasn't always been perfect. We each have brought lots of things to this relationship that we've had to work through. But we've put so much hard work to get to the place where we are now, which is a place where we feel safe enough to talk to each other about literally anything that is going on in our head or in our world. This is the one thing that I value the most about our relationship, the way we communicate. Honestly, it is probably the most important part of our relationship. Me learning how to communicate my needs wasn't easy given my past, but we both got there. I'm so proud of us. I'm proud of all the work that we've done, and I'm proud of the relationship and the family we've formed. And I'm so proud of the fact that we can do hard things. We've done so many, and we will do so many more. Not done yet, sorry. Okay. Okay. I've never felt seen and understood by someone in the way that Adriana does. Adriana gets me in a way that practically no one else does. I'm able to be my 100% authentic self with Adriana, and the funny thing is she loves me for it. Imagine that. She oftentimes will know I need something before I even realize I do or I'm able to vocalize it. Again, it's that loving and nurturing side of Adriana. And the crazy thing about being with Adriana is that her being so loving and kind to me, it makes me want to be that much loving and kinder to her. It's this amazingly good positive feedback loop that we often find ourselves in, and it feels so good. This is what love really is. This is how it should be. I hadn't ever experienced this before, and I'm so grateful that I decided it was time to get on the apps, so I was able to meet this wonderful woman. I'm so grateful that I was open to giving this a try, to opening my heart again, something that I didn't think was possible. Likewise, I'm grateful that you were able to open your heart, because I'm sure you didn't think that that was possible in this way either. I love you more than you can ever imagine, Adriana. And Reese and Marco, I love you so much. You are both such amazing kids. You are both filled with so much joy, so much energy, and you both have so much potential in life. You two will be able to do whatever you set your mind to in life, and I feel eternally grateful that I get to be a part of your lives. I want you to know that I will be here for you to help and guide you with whatever you need in any way that I can. I love you both so much. I love our family so much. The four of us make such a great team, and we have so much fun together. I feel so happy and grateful that all of you were able to be here today to share this expression of our love and commitment to each other. I love you, Adriana. I want nothing more than to hold your hand for the rest of my life. I'm so excited to share my life with you. Thank you for being you.
Charlie, our love is a quiet kind of love, but it is still a powerful and transformative love. Your love has encouraged me to slow down. It has given me space to heal parts of myself that I didn't know needed to be healed. Your love has given me a safe space to feel vulnerable, a safe space to make mistakes, a safe space to grow, to evolve, to be fully me. Your love has given me the ability to breathe again, the ability to be here now. In you, I see a person who is not perfect, but a person who is real. I see a person who has experienced pain, a person who doesn't always respond in ideal ways, a person who is sometimes too hard on himself. While these things may sound like shortcomings, I actually see them as admirable qualities because it also means that I get to see in you a person who doesn't shy away from his feelings, a person who doesn't hesitate to apologize, and a person who is committed to growing and evolving. In you, I see a person who has matched my level of bravery in opening up our hearts again. It is not an easy thing to do, especially when it is not a required thing to do. There have been so many points throughout our relationship where either or both of us could have said, that's it. Each of our lives had already been requiring so much effort from us, and our relationship was optional. It was the one thing in our lives that we could have let go of, but we didn't. Instead, at each of these moments, we paused. We talked. We reflected. While we understood that being in a partnership often requires compromise, we ensured that by making the decision to keep moving forward, that neither of us were compromising who we were or who we wanted to become, as individuals and as a couple. The ways in which you love Reese and Marco and me may not be obvious to the world, but they are obvious to me. It's the way you keep an eye out for me and encourage me to take a break before my body demands it. It's your willingness and desire to learn how to best support me in all the different situations. It's the way you remind me to focus on the immediate next thing when I start to get overwhelmed. You show your love for the kids every night when you fill up their water bottles at bedtime. Every time you say yes to reading to Marco or playing catch with him, it reminds him that he is loved. Every time you are in the audience for Reese's performances, whether it be band, chorus, dance, or a play, you are showing her that her interests matter to you and that you enjoy watching her shine. It has taken courage from you to step into this role. You are not a part-time dad to them. You are not just a stepdad to them. You are the only one they have here on earth. While Andrew helped create them and instilled some core things in them, it is you who is going to help shape them into the people that they will become. And it is you who is helping shape me into the person I am becoming. When we met, I was someone who was living in the present, but out of necessity, not out of mindfulness. I was living in the moment because my day-to-day world was about all I could manage, and even then, I was heavily relying on my parents. And while I was living in the moment, I was also living life at a very fast pace. You saw that I was moving at the speed of light, partially out of necessity, partially out of habit, and partially because I was a little scared to slow down because I wasn't sure what would happen. You made it clear to me that you couldn't live your life at the same speed, that you didn't want to live your life at that speed. But I had never lived a slow life. I didn't know what this new speed of life would look or feel like. I couldn't quite imagine how it could be as fulfilling. But I also couldn't quite imagine my life without you in it. As it turns out, slowing down isn't a bad thing. Slowing down has meant that I savor moments more deeply. It means that I give my undivided attention to the people I love. It means there's a peace in my heart that wasn't there before. With you, I've also had to let go. Let go of previous relationship dynamics. Let go of the fear that being in love again would result in a tragic ending. Let go of thinking that love and happiness only looked one specific way. Every time I let go of one of these things, something beautiful emerged. When I let go of how it used to be, I was able to give more space for what is now, for what we are creating. Letting go of the fear of being in love meant that a deeper level of vulnerability and therefore connection could emerge between us. Young Pueblo said, "Find a partner who is open to healing their emotional history because over time they will love you better and better. Past pain can block love. Fortunately, your mutual commitment to your relationship energizes you both to address the burdens you have been carrying. Letting go is hard. Healing takes time. Living in a new way requires courage. You both offer your patience and support to each other because you know this emotional investment will yield incredible results. As peace expands within your individual hearts, your relationship starts glowing with a fresh new vibrancy. You never strive for perfection. Instead, you embrace realness. You communicate your ups and downs instead of projecting. You do your best to handle conflict calmly. You apologize when you make mistakes. You both accept the challenge of this new adventure because the love you share is worth it. Charlie, I accept the challenge of living this new adventure with you because I know that our love is worth it. I am so looking forward to us loving each other better and better every day of our lives.
And now the vows. Okay. Do you, Charlie and Adriana, promise to let the other grow without borders and help them flourish without limits?
We do.
Do you commit to fighting fairly and respecting the other's request for a timeout when disagreements need a break? Because sometimes a new day brings a new perspective.
We do.
Do you recognize that relationships are not always 50-50? That the beauty of a true partnership is knowing that the other person will help you carry whatever it is that's on your shoulders, knowing that you would do the same for them in a heartbeat?
We do.
Do you, Adriana and Charlie, vow to come together during hard times with the belief that you are always stronger together?
We do.
Do you, Charlie, honor that Andrew is forever part of Adriana, Reese, and Marco's lives? And do you promise to leave space for him as you love and nurture the three people he loved the most?
I do.
And do you, Charlie, promise to occasionally bring Adriana coffee in bed, buy her flowers every week, hold her hand while you are driving, and continue to tell her she's funny for all the days of your life?
I do.
Do you, Adriana, promise to keep an open heart to Alex, keep a place for him in the family, and continue to support him from afar?
I do.
And lastly, do you, Adriana, promise to have regular breakfast dates at Kathy's with Charlie? Let him sleep on the same side of the bed as you, just so that he can snuggle with you while you're asleep. Always make sure he has time to play video games and watch the Red Sox, because you know that these things make him happy. And continue to make sure he is present when he kisses you for all the days of your life.
I do.
At this time, please exchange rings as a symbol of your love and commitment to one another.
Wait, I'm so
Reese,
confused.
Reese.
You're gonna hold the pillow.
It's like a book. You gotta do this too.
Who's ours?
Can I do this too?
In a moment.
Just hold on.
Hello?
Go out so it's kind of
It is humid.
It's
out.
really
Yeah, that's like almost
It's
124
got-
times. We'll figure that out later. Okay.
It is my great honor and privilege to stand by you as you make this commitment to your partnership and to your family. And now, with the power vested in me by the state of Connecticut, I happily pronounce you husband and wife. You may share your first kiss as a married couple. Friends and family, here's to love.